Good evening, everyone. Board members, Mr. Gonzalez, district staff. Time is 6:05 p.m. This is the 15th day of September 2021. I call this meeting of the United ISD School Board to order. Mr. Bellis, could you call roll?
Yes, sir. Mr. Ricardo Molina.
Present.
Mr. Roberto Ramirez.
Present.
Mr. Frank Castillo.
Present.
Ms. Lisa Oliveros.
Present.
Mr. Rick Rodriguez.
Ricardo Rodriguez present.
And myself, Mr. President, Ramiro Bellis, present.
Javier Montemayor, present. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. I ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, Texas Pledge, and a moment of silence. And for the record, could we do an extra moment of silence? We have, on behalf of everyone here at the UISD family, board members, I'd like to recognize also the parents of Lance Corporal David Diaz-Espinosa, who are present with us. On behalf of United ISD, the board members, the entire UISD family, we offer our condolences on the loss of your son, a true hero, and we offer another moment of silence on his behalf.
Hoorah!
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 4, public comments. Any public comments?
At this time, yes, sir, we do have public comments.
Good evening, board members and Superintendent Mr. Gonzalez. We have one public comment, parent Jose Obando, and it's on legal services. Mr. Obando.
Good afternoon, Mr. Obando.
Good afternoon.
You have 3 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon. Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. It's a little bit low, but we can hear you.
All right. Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Jose Obando, and I'm here to speak on the issue of legal services. I would like to read to you a case that I believe has already been sent to you that is titled, John Doe, the plaintiff, versus Juan J. Cruz, defendant. The plaintiff's attorney, had the good sense to add this notice to school district's employee Juan J. Cruz. Defendant Juan J. Cruz holds himself out, a school law expert dealing with minor children. Any school district that has Juan J. Cruz employed as general counsel is hereby on notice of his deviant proclivity to have homosexual intercourse and sexually assault minor children, and should take appropriate action to protect their students from defendant Juan J. Cruz. It's my understanding this was already sent to you all, and I hope that you take this in all seriousness. I hope that you also side with the children and not with this person right here. It is my understanding that this is in court, and I understand that it's still to be litigated. There might be errors, there's something that might be different. But right now, I think the most important thing is to protect the children. Your duty is to the children. Your duty is not to a contractor, not to a compadre, it's not to a deviant. I hope it's not to a deviant. It's not to a service provider, it is to our children. And that standard of care to our children is the highest standard of care that you should have to anyone, most importantly our children. In the past, I have brought other issues before the board. I did bring an illegal relationship between an employee and a student. Nothing was done. I have also brought issues between relationships of board members and employee. Nothing was done. Next thing that's going to happen is that a human resources person is going to be accused of something, and the human resources department that's supposed to be in charge of protecting the employees. But I digress.
You have 1 minute, sir.
I place this issue squarely at the feet of the board, particularly at the president of the board. You have the authority, the power, and I hope you have the guts to move to sever any and all relationship with this service provider right now. Not to go back to over there in the back and mingle and have a Coke and have lunch, while we're over here wobbling con marranadas, porque esto es lo que es, marranadas. I don't have the whole 3 minutes, but if I read this whole case, which I'm not going to read because I know there's kids right here, but you should side with our children, not with one individual, not with one sick individual. Thank you.
I want to respond to that. And I want to say to you, Mr. Obando, that petition is a bunch of lies. And I want to say to you that you should reserve your judgment until it is proven in the court of law. You wouldn't like it if I made allegations against you that were untrue. I will rely on my friends, I will rely on my family, and I will rely on my God to get me through this evil thicket of lies. And I implore you, Mr. Obando, to find comfort and love and not hate, because until I have been proven guilty, I've been innocent. Thank you.
Thank you for your lecture, sir.
All right. Agenda item number 5, recognitions. A Lance Corporal David D. Espinosa.
Good evening, board members, superintendent. Parents present of David Lee Espinosa, we have something to say for you. Estimada familia de Lance Corporal David Lee Espinosa, les queremos dar un reconocimiento de parte del superintendente, el señor David González, y la mesa directiva del distrito de United. Estamos aquí en agradecimiento de lo que David representa para nosotros y su comunidad de Río Bravo. La comunidad puede ver lo que un héroe representa en realidad y no lo que vemos en las películas. Su servicio al país nunca será olvidado y todos los días lo recordaremos como un hombre de valor y humildad. Es un testimonio de los valores familiares, de lo cual su madre le inculcó, convirtiéndolo en un infante de la Marina. En una entrevista dije: tuvo una grandeza enorme, con un valor indiscutible, que no hay palabras para describir su valentía a toda prueba, que lo convierte no solo un héroe nacional, sino mundial, porque murió defendiendo al prójimo. UISD describe a Lance Corporal David Lee Espinosa. As a Marine, you were not afraid to lay down your life for your country. You showed us greater love. When you laid down your life on August 26, 2021, in Kabul, Afghanistan, you have done your duty. To honor you is ours. The United ISD community will forever remember your sacrifice. Thank you, and thank you to Ed's Trophy for their wonderful gift.
Agenda item number 6, Superintendent's Report.
Yes, members of the board, members of the audience. Just informational items for you. So in the first day of school, which was August 16th, as we all know, we started off at 31,996 students. We were 9,342 short. As of today, the difference is more positive. We're at 38,279. We're still short 3,030. So the difference between the first day of school and today is 6,283. Just to let you know how we're doing on COVID with our students, as we continue to do everything with our protocols to protect our students and our staff. As our student numbers for day COVID, starting at Sunday, start the week on Sunday, we have 27 positive students. This today was 4. As far as our staff, this week alone, we have 4 positive COVID cases, and 1 is cleared to work. And again, we'll continue to give you the updates as they come in, but I'd like to recognize our staff, did their job. I know Rolando and her staff putting together the protocols, working with all our campus, our execs, all our departments, doing this together for the safety of our students and all our staff members within USD. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Gonzalez? All right, agenda item number 7. This time we move on to the consent agenda items. Is there a motion regarding the consent agenda items as listed?
I make a motion to approve item A through H.
The motion to approve A through H. Is there a second? Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Agenda item number 8, items for individual consideration. Item 8A, nomination of candidates to the Board of Directors of the Webb County Appraisal District.
Could we reserve that until after closed session, please?
Is there a motion? We'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to move this for after. Motion and second. All those in favor? Aye.
Say aye.
Will be considered after closed session. 8B, discussion and possible action to approve campus improvement plans as presented. Is there a motion?
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
We have,
Ms. Lessa,
a few words.
Perfect, just wanted to let you know that you've got the links for every campus improvement plan so that you could study them at your leisure. Thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 8C, first and final reading of FFH Exhibit Freedom from Discrimination, Harassment, and Retaliation.
Good evening, board members. We bring these agenda items for your approval on a first and final reading because of some changes in the organization of our district. So the first one is FFH Exhibit, which replaces Melissa Cruz as the 504 coordinator with the new 504 coordinator, Cynthia Rodriguez.
Motion for approval.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Sorry.
Motion passes. Item 8D, first and final reading of FB, Equal Educational Opportunity.
It's the same thing, basically, but it's another exhibit. This is for the employee section, Equal Educational Opportunities. This is Section 504 coordinator, also Cynthia Rodriguez, who replaced Melissa Cruz.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item 8E, approval of class size waivers.
Just to give a little bit of background on the class size waivers, the state of Texas requires that class sizes be at a 22-to-1 ratio. Now, starting this year, it used to be kinder to 4th grade. Starting this year, it's from pre-kinder to 4th grade. And so we monitor the class sizes for every elementary campus. And so the information that is in your packet is actually incorrect. It was updated. We've got some new class size waivers that we added. We have a total of 10 class size waivers, 2 second grade classes at Malakoff, 2 third grade classes at San Isidro, 1 first grade class at Colonel Santos, 3 kindergarten classes in Baskin Elementary, 1 kindergarten class at Ruiz, and 1 4th grade class at Santos Elementary. a total of 10. We did present this information to the DEIC committee on Monday as required by the Texas Education Agency, and so that was approved. And we're just monitoring. And just for the record, Mr. Castillo, I know you may be curious, we don't go over 26, 27 students. You know, it's usually one student in each class, 23, max is 24 when we start counting.
Motion for approval.
There's a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
And a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Agenda item 8F, discussion and possible action to approve remote conferencing waivers with the Texas Education Agency.
Good evening, Mr. Montemayor, board members, Superintendent Gonzalez. This waiver is for requesting students that are on current remote conferencing. They only have 20 days approved by the state. And when they go past 20 days, either for a medical reason or because they have been multiply exposed to COVID, we need to submit a waiver. So this approval will allow us to submit waivers throughout this first semester as they become necessary for our students. Currently, we have about 5 medically fragile reports waiting for us to submit a waiver. Motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Item 8G, approval of board travel for the month of September 2021 to attend the TASB convention in Dallas, Texas.
Motion for approval.
Second. Motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. 8H, approval of requests from board members in reference to the use of Board of Trustee discretionary funds for various campuses and departments.
Mr. Montemayor, members of the board, Superintendent Gonzalez, in addition to the requests that have already been presented at the committee meetings, we have some additional requests to read into the record. For John B. Alexander, for Mr. Sandoval, Mr. Rick Rodriguez is sponsoring consulting services for Alexander High School band for the months of July, August, and September for the amount of $4,620. In addition, Alexander High School again, Mr. Sandoval, Ms. Oliveros, sponsor for consulting services for Alexander High School band in the amount of $5,000. We have for the STEP Academy, Mr. Joseph Lopez requesting, Mr. Molina, sponsor for student incentives for the school year 2021-2022 PBIS attendance for the amount of $2,000. We have United High School, Ms. Jessica Salazar, sponsored by Mr. Javier Montemayor, for club and organization banners for around the school with club logo, 25 to 30 clubs through vendors BSN Sports for the amount of $2,500. We have United High School, again, Ms. Salazar, from Mr. Rick Rodriguez, sponsor. A request for 10 Novastar TK3000 NX340 digital radios or newer models between $290 to $300 each for a grand total of $3,000. Sorry, there's several. We have, again, for United High School, Ms. Jessica Salazar, on behalf of sponsor Mr. Ramiro Vélez, perfect attendance incentives for the amount of $2,000. We have Prada Elementary School, Ms. Saldaña, as a requester, Mr. Ricardo Molina. Funds will be used to purchase student incentives for academic gains in the amount of $3,000. We have for Muller Elementary School, Ms. Ramirez, a requester for Mr. Ramirez, the sponsor, or the board member sponsoring homework planners for students to keep them organized and to have communication documentation with parents through the planners, and students and parents sign the planner on a daily basis. And this is the amount of $2,587.50. And finally, the last request is from federal and state programs. Ms. Morales is the requester, and all 7 board members have sponsored $1,000 each, and those are the final requests for your approval.
Motion for approval to include the additional requests.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve as presented by Mr. Garza. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Montemayor, can we also pass on agenda item I at this time until after close?
Motion to move agenda 8I to after closed session?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Agenda item number 9, closed session. The time is now 6:25 p.m. and the board will adjourn into closed session pursuant to sections 551.071, .072, .074, and .076 of the Texas Government Code to discuss agenda items 9A through D. We'll be back in about 30 minutes. Soon. We ready? Okay, we are, time is 7:50, we're reconvened for closed session. The board will take appropriate action on items if necessary, as discussed in closed session. Agenda item number 10A, discussion possible action. You want to?
Oh, we need to go back to agenda item 8A on the board of directors for the appraisal.
Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, I apologize. Agenda 8A, Mr. Cruz?
Yes, so the nomination for the board of directors for the Webb County Appraisal District is Mr. Juan Roberto Ramirez and Mr. Ricardo Rodriguez.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Dr. Vida? Is that Dr. Vida? I'm sorry, I didn't like Dr. Vida. I thought, Ms. Madrigal, did you have something to say?
No, I was just, hi, good evening, members of the board, Mr.
Oh.
Gonzalez, Mr. Cruz, members of the audience. Just bringing to you the item, but you already made the recommendation for
Okay.
the candidates.
Thank you.
Now, in the November board meeting, we will bring the resolution to allocate the votes. Okay?
That's good. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan.
All right.
Good to have you back, Ms. Madrigal.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I didn't recognize your first name.
I thought it was somebody else.
Looking good, looking good.
Looking good.
All right. I guess my agenda is different from yours. Agenda item 10A, I've got discussion, possible action regarding the pending litigation in City of Laredo versus, in United ISD versus Greg Abbott.
Yeah, the recommendation is to grant the authority to legal counsel to defend the appeal by Governor Abbott in the 4th Court of Appeals, as discussed in closed session.
Motion to approve. Got a motion to approve and a second.
Discussion?
Any discussion?
I will support this item for unity, but I have to say for the record that I don't think it's necessary, because if we look at our sister school district, Laredo Independent School District, they're bound to the orders by the health authority, so they didn't have to do what we're doing. I think it's unnecessary, but I support the mask mandate. And I will support this board's decision to enforce it, but we already fall under a mandate. So I just wanted to say that for the record.
I almost agree with you, but, you know, I think Laredo started all of this, and we're not Laredo, we're united, so it's up to us to protect our children. Not the city of Laredo or anybody else.
It's redundant.
Or anybody else. I
Yeah,
don't care
it's
about-
redundant. It's like
I don't
creating
care
a
about our
law
kids.
that falls under a law that already exists. But to be
No, I
in
understand.
unison with the board, I
Okay.
am for the mask mandate. It's unnecessary for us to do this. It creates litigation that our taxpayers don't need. But I'll support the board.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
Duly noted.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Agenda item 10B, action to approve extension of district's face mask resolution.
The recommendation is to approve the extension of the face mask resolution through December 31st, 2021.
All right,
Motion to approve.
got a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Mr. Montemayor, you still have the naming of the facility, agenda item 8I for the Lance Corporal. I'm not sure if the board wants to make a motion on that.
On that 8I, discussion possible action regarding the naming of a district facility in memory of Lance Corporal David Espinosa. I'll make a motion, make a motion, I guess, to table with discussion.
Second.
With a second. I think this is a good item. So I'd ask the superintendent to come up with a plan of what facility we're looking at, what the costs are, what kind of recognition the board, to bring back to the board what kind of recognition options exist out there, whether it be a sculpture, whether it be a building, whether it be a school, whatever the options are. So I move to table to the next board meeting in October.
We'll work on something, and I've already heard your request. So we'll come up with something by the next board meeting, sir.
So motion to table, the second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have the appointment of the item 8A, nomination of candidates to the Board of Directors for Webb County Appraisal District.
Yeah, we did that already.
We did that? Okay.
Yes, agenda item 10.
Now we have agenda item 10C, action regarding the appointment of Ruiz Elementary Principal.
This time, my recommendation for Ruiz Elementary School Principal is Ms. Monica Cepeda.
So move.
Second.
A motion and a second.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Mr. Gonzalez, are you able to give us the top three finalists? Would it be proper to know what the top three finalists are? If you have it.
Packets.
You don't have it.
I know you were given the packet, it should have been under, mine didn't have it.
Well, it just has a complete list, but doesn't give us the finalists.
You want to come to the,
Yes.
Come to the mic, please.
We're not violating any
No,
human resource laws.
It's public information.
Okay. Is that Monica Cepeda, Jonathan Martinez, and Diana Escamilla?
I think we're going to want the names of the three finalists for all the positions.
You want to take them one at a time, or?
Yeah, one at a time is good.
oh, well,
Or you can do it now.
well, let's do this.
You can do it now.
Well, we're doing item by item.
Item by item.
So, okay, so Mr. Gonzalez, your recommendation?
And my recommendation is Ms. Monica Cepeda for Ruiz Elementary School.
We have a motion to approve in a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Agenda item E, 10E, action regarding the appointment, 10D, action regarding the appointment of Freedom Elementary Principal.
Yes, sir, at this time, we're recommending for Freedom Elementary School is Stephanie Michelle Silva.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion.
The three finalists, if you have it.
Freedom Elementary was Ms. Silva, Mr. Martinez, Ms. Mauricio from Kennedy Zapata,
A little louder, please, if you don't mind.
Stephanie Silva, Mr. Jonathan Martinez, and
Mauricio.
Ms. Mauricio from Kennedy Zapata.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So there's a motion and a second to approve the recommendation. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Agenda item E, action regarding the appointment of Trout Middle School Principal.
Yes, sir, this time, recommendation from middle school principal is Mr. Gilbert Moreno.
So move.
Got a motion and
Second.
a second. Discussion?
The other finalists were
Jonathan Martinez,
Jonathan Martinez,
Gilbert Moreno, and Raquel Madrigal.
Raquel Mariga.
All right, there's a motion and a second to approve as presented the recommendation by the superintendent. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And action regarding the appointment of Gonzalez Middle School Principal.
Yes, sir, this time, recommendation was Salem Middle School, Ms. Araceli Garza. The other finalists were Dr. Martinez and
Juan Herrera.
Johnny Herrera from OBJ.
All right,
So move.
got a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Discussion.
I'm sorry, discussion?
Discussion.
Go ahead, discussion.
So it was Ms. Garza, Dr. Martinez, and Juan Herrera, correct?
Johnny Herrera, yes, sir.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. I vote no.
One no. Motion carries. Agenda item number 10, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
We are adjourned.